Melatonin is a rhythm game inspired by the Rhythm Heaven series by Nintendo and 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐩𝐭𝐞𝐫𝐬. Basically, the main premise is that each level is a dream that the main character is sleeping through, and this usually ranges from stuff like eating, shopping, and even dating. And while this game may look like a 1 or 2 button rhythm game just like the Rhythm Heaven series, this game actually uses spacebar and the left, right, and up arrow keys. Sorry, down arrow key. Maybe next time. Essentially, each subworld contains 4 dreams with a remix song containing all of them together at the end. This is essentially just the same formula as Rhythm Heaven, except Melatonin introduces new controls at the beginning of a new subworld. There's also cutscenes at the end of each one, which is pretty great. Most of the songs in this game have like a whole lo-fi vibe going on, with the art style and music just really helping you to relax into the game and play along. And for rhythm game veterans who are worried that this game may just be too easy for you, I can reassure you that this game does in fact have a hard mode. You can now rest easy. And let me tell ya, trying to get a perfect rating on the normal and the hard difficulties of these levels have proven to be quite difficult. The music in this game is very vibey, except for some which I'll get into later, and the dream ideas are practically oozing with creativity. No 2 rhythm games feel similar to each other in terms of concept, which is really good. I especially loved the money rhythm game, where you catch and pocket coins in the rain while thunder strikes and the direction of the coins change. It was actually really fun. The exercise one was also a pretty good time. It wasn't a lo-fi song, but it was like more of an energetic and fist pumping one. You lift up weights with this guy. What I also love is that you're able to move around freely in the subworld, which is a thing most rhythm games don't tend to do, so you know, thumbs up on that. Another thing, setting offset in this game could not be easier. Where some rhythm games tend to be lazy with the offset setting, Melatonin has made it so easy to calibrate timing to make up for any delay, which, thank goodness! You can also change from arrow keys to WASD in the settings menu, which some people would be very thankful for. Something I forgot to mention while recording this, but there is a language setting, which is really useful and it really helps with accessibility for everyone, so you know, another thumbs up on that. Back to the video. And that's basically every detail in the game I can think of. But now, it's time to complain. My first complaint is that the game is too short. In Rhythm Heaven Fever, there are 10 remixes total and 40 different songs, with 16 out of those 40 being harder versions of original games. In Melatonin, however, there are 5 remixes and 16 different songs, 32 if we count the difficult versions. So overall, Melatonin has 37 songs, while Rhythm Heaven has 50. And obviously we can't really expect Melatonin to be on the same level as Rhythm Heaven, since Rhythm Heaven is developed by a massive multi-billion-dollar company, and Melatonin's just developed by a small indie company. But I think this is still valid criticism of the game, and I feel like the game really could have benefited from a few extra subworlds. In Subworld 4, there's a level about stress and one about the past, where you burn pictures in an attempt to discard bad memories. Even the music of Subworld 4 gives it a dark and sinister theme. But after those 2 levels, it goes on to hopes, desires, and the future. These are 2 very contrasting themes, and it feels like they were supposed to be their own subworlds, but were crammed into the same one last second. This idea had a lot of potential, and as well, I wish they showed the pictures to us in the past songs so that we had a better idea of the guy's past and why he's trying to get rid of the photos in the first place. That's just my personal nitpick though. As well as that, I never mentioned this in the first part of the video, but this game has a level editor! Which is very limited. Now don't get me wrong, I still really enjoyed my time with it, and the way that it's formatted makes it really easy to comprehend and understand, but it doesn't give you nearly as many options as, say, the Rhythm Doctor editor. You know, this massive thingy-majig of things that I don't know how to use. People have used it to create entirely unique levels, and while I understand that may be a lot of work to implement, I just wish they gave us more options to work with, you know? For example, we're not really allowed to create remixes of our own, if that makes sense. While we're allowed to edit the remixes themselves, we can't add in what minigames we want at what time. If the remix is from Subworld 1, I'm not allowed to add in any minigames from Subworld 2, 3, or 4. You also can't change the BPM or have very little options to do so. And as much as I love the custom level that I made, I just wish there was more tools available to really make this level my own. Okay, so a quick editor's note here. Recently they released an update that basically stated you can use custom music and levels, and obviously it isn't the Rhythm Doctor editor like I was saying in the video, but it's a really good step in the right direction. I'm hoping they keep releasing updates like this. Maybe we can see more content coming to the actual game, you know? Might be a bit too hopeful for me, but it's still something that I want to see happen, you know? Anyways, back to the video. You probably remember me saying this earlier on in the video. The music in this game is very vibey, except for some which I'll get into later. And it's work. On the bright side, the developers did a great job at capturing what work is actually like. Long and boring and tedious, that's what this level is. I don't like the song personally, and the whole level just feels like a massive chore. I know this game's called Melatonin, but that level was literally about to send me to sleep. In my opinion, the rocket ship level was also pretty boring, but boring in terms of mechanics. Let me explain. The whole level, you'll basically just be holding down and releasing spacebar. It's just so repetitive, and I feel like so much more could have been done with this idea. Maybe the meter on the spaceship could fill up in a certain rhythm, and you have to copy that same rhythm with spacebar taps. Or maybe try incorporating the arrow keys in some way, you know, something. Just so you're not pressing down on a button every so often, you know? Either way, for me this minigame felt like a drag, and it's a shame too because I love the whole space theme that they were going for. My last major complaint is that sometimes levels will have a speed up or slow down prompt, which you may have predicted changes the tempo of the level.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock!
Some of these are very fun and fit in with the level by adding a new level of difficulty to it or a new twist. But some of these tempo changes come at you very fast and usually end up with a miss or a late. I personally think these speed up mechanics are fine and I think they're fun, but in some cases they just don't give you enough warning before the song rapidly changes BPM, and I found this is mostly present in the hard versions of songs. In some of these instances, it really feels like you can't FC the level first try because of these, and that really sucks for me personally. So, with all that in mind, is Melatonin worth purchasing? Honestly, I'm split. If you buy the game and plan to try out the editor and create your own levels, or if you plan to replay the game on all the hard difficulties, you'll at least get some replay value out of this game, and I think it'll be worth it for you. But if you just plan to play the story in every rhythm game once or until you pass the level, you'll maybe wish that you waited for this game to go on sale. Did I enjoy this game though? Absolutely I did. While Melatonin has its flaws, the fluent and vibrant gameplay kept me smiling all the way through to the end. So much that one of my complaints in this video is that I want it to go on for longer. And hopefully if this game gets revisited in the future, we'll have some new content to sink our teeth into. And with all that said and done, that's been my review on Melatonin. Another game sort of like Rhythm Heaven called Bits and Bops seems to be coming out this time next year, so if you want to see a video on that game, please consider liking and subscribing. And of course, feel free to comment any other rhythm games that you'd like me to go over. Until next time then, see ya!